People hit me up for interviews. Y'all gonna have to come out the fucking pockets because I'm not doing shit for free. 3,500 to 10K is my range. Y'all pay Dr. Umar thousands of dollars to get the fuck on there and talk. Y'all gonna pay me the same shit.
So Dr. Umar, Dr. Umar's daughter's out here asking you to hit the cash app. Right? She's demanding 3,500 to 10K for her to do interviews. You could say it's all for clout. That's all that she wanted. Maybe I wouldn't disagree with you. Or you could say, like father, like daughter, right? Drink the coffee. Too soon? I don't think so.
I just hit 5K on Instagram. The Dr. Umar video was over 200K. I posted 3 videos regarding him. They all hit over 100K in 24 hours or under.
And this is where Double D Mother makes her exit because shit is getting weird. And I'm not going to be a part of this whole debacle. So this will be my final video on the Dr. Umar biological daughter deadbeat allegations. I'm not going to be a part of this because it's looking real fishy. I told y'all yesterday that I felt like the way Dr. Umar was responding because he was making it out to be a joke. I felt like it was maybe for clicks and views, and the things that is coming out of his alleged daughter, it appears that this is a money grab.
Okay, so she thinks this is a money grab and it was all orchestrated. Maybe a conspiracy that I don't think it's true, but of course people have that opinion and people are allowed to have their opinions. But this is exactly what it looks like to set yourself up for a bad situation later on in life. What am I talking about? When I say, as men, we should be careful to make sure we don't plant our seeds in the wrong women. Because I understand, trust me, I understand that there are 2 sides to this conversation. There's the side of, is Dr. Umar someone people should take seriously? That's the approach that I'm coming at this with. And then you have the men who are like, well, I can empathize and I understand with someone not allowing you to cooperate and see your child and the courts being against you. This is the coffee pot. We talk about this often. I'm coming from the perspective of people who listen to Dr. Umar like he has a solution for fixing families in the Black community. He said many times that men should step up. You should step up, take care of your Black boys. We don't do that, so on and so forth. And then this comes out. I believe this could have been cushioned if he would have gone into detail and really, really put his stance out there, experience, opinion, shared that he also has 2 single mothers, not once in a while in podcasts here and there. No. That should have been one of the main experiences that he could share, because there are men out here who could relate to this. And then on top of that, knowing that he's gone through this, and if he in fact wasn't allowed to see his daughter, if that is true, then he would have understood that just asking men to go out here to wife up single mothers and take care of them is a mission where you're setting yourself up for stress, embarrassment, and unappreciation as a man. You're setting yourself up for this. This right here is the end result. And it's just proving more and more that this is actually his daughter, not only confirmed by him, but I mean, she's got his sense of humor.
You look so good on your live, Dr. Umar. I want to eat you up. At ease, my queen. At ease, my queen. What do you mean you want to eat up the prince? You look so good on your live. I want to eat you up. What do you mean by that?
All right, so these are all videos
You look
that she's been uploading ever since. And I think people are just laughing along with this, which leads me to my regular point when I talk about Dr. Umar. I think most people who are fairly balanced look at him more of a comedian than somebody who they should follow behind and walk in their footsteps. Ask him, though, he's the chosen one. He's the greatest thing to be presented to mankind. That's roughly translated some of the things that he has said. And then I saw this really uncomfortable video. I mean, let's not forget this chick's like 22. She could get married. She's old enough to drink. She's a grown woman at this point. Still has a lot to learn, obviously so, but here she is dancing in front of the camera. Now you could say, oh, she's just doing this for attention. But if you go to her TikTok page, she's been doing stuff like this. Now, is this on brand with what Dr. Umar probably be would probably want his daughter to be doing if he was in her life? Probably not. And again, what's the result of you not being careful to the men out here who still have a chance, right? To the men out here who still have the chance, what's the result? Humiliation of your lineage, humiliation of everything that you've built. And you know, this is part of the reason why I give a shout out to the Obamas. And I know a lot of people roll their eyes when I say this, but say what you want. And I'm not somebody who agrees with most of what they stand for outside of what they've done with their family, right? But when it comes to their family, respectable family. And I don't think people usually recognize and highlight respectable families or good black men, you know, out here who are dating. And what do I mean by that? Men who build strong families, because number one, it doesn't bring the clicks, it doesn't bring the views. And on top of that, they don't create a bunch of noise. I don't even know what these chicks have been up to, right? He's 2 daughters. And if you're asking, well, how do you define raising up good children? I think there are really 2 things in my books, right? And you can let me know if you agree with this down below. I'm curious to know. Number one, I believe has to be, they don't ruin and tarnish your family's reputation. They don't destroy your family's reputation and family name. Oh, that's misogynistic because of the last name, men. Yeah, F it. We don't care. As much as people want to pretend like that's the patriarchy and last names don't matter. No, your last name matters. Your children will either improve what you've built and build a good reputation for your last name, or they will destroy it. What did you stand for? Maybe controversial, but what did it produce? What fruit did it produce? And sometimes it only takes one person to bring down the family name. If I said Obama's children, I think most people would be like, okay, you know, we don't know. We don't know is better than we know that it's chaos, even if you disagree. If I say Elon Musk's children, it depends on which one you're looking at, right? If I say the last name Epstein, right, invokes a different type of reaction, and you can feel it within yourself whether it leans towards being more positive or negative, depending on the values you stand for and what those children did after they grew into adults. So I do want to check this out because I think this is telling right here, this next video. Let's check it out.
Y'all, this is what my dad responded to me. Good evening, princess. Although I am very disappointed in your online behavior, I want to have lunch with you and your mother next Thursday or Friday. Please have her text me the day, time, and location for our meeting. You deserve to hear all of the truth from us together. We have much to discuss. I look forward to building the relationship with you that she never allowed us to have. With love, your father. So you decide to reach out to me because I outed you. You had all this time, you had all these chances to reach out to your daughter, but because I outed you on social media, now you want to sit down for lunch? You're a fraud. You're a hypocrite. You are everything that you say that you aren't. And you got on live responding to me, talking about some struggle stream and talking about some, oh, I'm known in North Philly. If y'all needed to find me, y'all could have found me. Why the what do I have to find you for, sir? When you're my dad. Right? Like, now you want to have a talk because I outed you. Hold black men accountable. Hold them accountable.
Hold black men accountable is what she says. Now, again, 2 different sides to this conversation. Yes, I understand the side that's going to look at this, and I actually agree with you and say probably was some brainwashing from the mother there to her if she's refusing to meet up with him and actually talk with him. That's not what this video is about. I already told you guys this video is overall about Dr. Umar's approach to fixing these type of issues that he's going through, and also on top of all this, discipline, sexual discipline. Listen to me, my gentlemen, please protect your seed. Please. Some of you are going to be great men. Some of you are gearing up to be very, very great men. We live in the digital age where your digital footprint, your personal brand definitely matters. You do not want to get to the point where you've gained some respectable reputation. And you're thinking, oh man, any day now, I may be exposed by my daughter, right? Who I do not have a relationship with, who may have only heard one side of the story. And I actually think that Dr. Umar in a video said those specific words. He said in a video, he said, one of these days my daughter might come out and expose this and that. He said that. Watch out. Be careful if you are in a position right now where you don't have to be in this situation. Here are a few comments. Top comment says, and when you find out it was really your mama, then what? Here's somebody else who says, and I wouldn't be surprised, right? I believe it was her mom's probably told her all types of lies. Another comment here says, I thought you outed him for him to reach out. Okay, so that's not true. She said she wanted to see her sister. She wanted info about her sister. There we go, right? Somebody else who says she doesn't want answers. She wants clout. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this seems like she also wants the clout that came along with this. Somebody else who says, you stated in your previous video, a conversation is what you wanted. What's the problem now? No, she never said she wanted a conversation. I'm just remembering the video that I reacted to the first time. I remember her saying, I don't even want a relationship. I want to be connected to my sister. Again, you don't get to choose how your 22-year-old daughter who is getting raised by a single mother, especially if she's bitter, is going to react online. And then you had this video.
Trying to use your father's name to build your struggle streamer career is so not cool. Struggle streamer? But you have 2 daughters and you're not in their lives, Dr. Umar. But I'm a struggle streamer? You see what I'm talking about? Why is that your only focus? You have 2 daughters and you are not present in their lives. Let's focus on that, Dr. Umar. Clock that T.
Again, I think it's wild to encourage men out here to go out and wife single mothers. As somebody who thinks they're wonderful single mothers out here, I've said this again over and over, who actually do drink coffee, but most of these chicks out here are insane, man. They're insane. Few comments here. Active father forever, deadbeat dads. Never. Dr. Umar is the struggle streamer. What a nerve. Okay, so I definitely also understand that, like, this is an interesting place to be in when I'm reporting this whole topic, because I definitely know that the single moms out here are definitely using this as an opportunity to shit on all men who they allowed to bust the cheeks and are not allowing to see their daughters, right? We know that this happens. Somebody else who says, I'm so sorry he's failed you as a parent. Here's somebody else who says, why wouldn't I use my daddy's name to help my career? You, my father. Okay, these comments are just getting ridiculous. I do want to give some real value, though, to my guys out there. Of course, all I can do to the guys who are not in a situation like this, where they're dealing with like a bitter baby mama, so on and so forth, so I could just say, protect yourself at all costs. At all costs, right? At all costs. Take that Plan B pill. If it, wrap it up. Have some sexual discipline. Don't go around smashing every chick that you see. If you're somebody who values family, do that, right? And protect yourself, because it just takes one mistake. And there are plenty of dudes who wish they could go back and stop that mistake. That's number one. Things can become very real very quickly. Kids are a lot. All right. I'm having a difficult time with one kid. I can only imagine what it's like with no help whatsoever. 2, to my guys who are going through this, and you may be in this situation, the best thing I could do, and I did this exactly for you, is encourage you to head over to chishazed.com and join Brew Brothers, because that means you're a father, right? It's for fathers and men who value marriage, both. And you can access a conversation I had with attorney Lauren, the lawyer. This was a snippet. I've shared a couple of snippets on my channel, but she goes into depths and gives tips. This is legal information, not advice, but legal information for men out here who are dealing with things like custody, because that's what she deals with, because that's what she specializes in, right? She handles the mess typically after the divorce. So after the divorce, or even before the divorce, you're dealing with a lot of like custody, and she keeps it real in here and understands that men do have a more of a challenging time when it comes to custody and family court when they're dealing with those types of issues. So that's chishazed.com. And over there, you see it on the front page. You can join Brew Brothers. Let's see what other people had to say about this particular situation.
Snow bunnies never, deadbeats forever. You got 2 black women pregnant, did not wife them, and then had kids with those said women, and you don't be a father to them, but get on the internet every day and tell us black men how we need to improve ourselves? It sounds like the call is coming from inside the home, Mr. Umar Johnson. You so busy worried about everybody else's kids. Worry about your own goddamn kids. You trying to build a school. You don't even know if your daughter be getting back and forth to school. That shit is really real life crazy. Like, the people who get on here and just give you so much game and try to motivate you into doing some shit, bro, that really be their spirit talking to themselves. They thinking that they giving you advice, but it's their spirit giving themselves advice. Gang, I don't want to hear no more talking points from Dr. Umar Johnson until this shit is addressed. Because, gang, you can't be a deadbeat and then saying that you pro-black. You can't get 2 black women pregnant and don't marry either one of them or be faithful to either one of them and call yourself pro-black. Make some shit make sense, Dr. Umar.
All right, so that was that. What do you guys think of that video? Top comment here says Dr. Umar, a menace. Somebody else here says DNA, daddy not available. Somebody else here added, finally, the fraud has been exposed. Here's somebody else who says active fathers forever, deadbeats never. Here's another comment that says business before back shots. That was funny. That was funny. First time I heard that. Hilarious.
Dr. Umar been a panhandling, soliciting, don't take care of his kids Negro who just panders to people and tell them what they want to hear, especially women. We've known this for years. Man, pretty much all these dudes who get on here and preach pro-black family this, pro-black family that, don't practice nothing of what they preach. And if you look deep enough into their past, it's a trail of unpaid child support, multiple baby mamas, and children who curse their name. And this is coming from someone who exclusively dates black women. Man, all these dudes like Dr. Umar Johnson who get on here, talk about who athletes date, black queens this, black queens that, any common sense know the play that you trying to run before you even line up in formation. You love black women so much, but you constantly keep making them single mothers and not taking care of your kids and not paying child support. You claim to love black women so much, but you won't tie your assets to one because that's the white man's paperwork. Dr. Umar appeals to insecure black people looking for a hero. Who don't take care of his kids can't say nothing about the community. Nothing.
Do you guys think that Dr. Umar appeals to insecure black people looking for a community? That's an interesting point. I've never heard that one before. Let's read a few comments here. Top comment says, nothing has ever been proven yet, and y'all already jumping on this. Another person who says, that dude literally made a statement on his Instagram saying that she needs to do a sit down with him and her mother, basically deflecting the blame. Listen, after this video right here.
So good on your live, Dr. Umar. I want to eat you up. At ease, my queen.
I believe it. That was the one that did it for me. I'm like, nah, no, because we can be honest here. Dr. Umar is hilarious. He's hilarious, and it looks like she got part of that humor.
Dr. Umar's daughter came on this internet and called him out for being a deadbeat, and all he could do was throw out his credentials. I am the most educated, the most requested, the most, just throwing out nothing but his credentials, right? Like that got anything to do with being a deadbeat. How educated you are or how popular you are has nothing to do with if you're a deadbeat or not. Anybody else catch that, or was that just me? I just feel like Dr. Umar just pulled a Philly ninja move.
But what did you guys think of when you heard that? Comment down below. If you actually get this, then I just know that I'm on the same wavelength with my audience. Like I know my audience so well. Somebody's going to get this. But when I heard her say, what does that have to do? What do your credentials have to do with you being a deadbeat? I immediately thought, that's what you guys do. Who's you guys? Modern women. When you hear modern women talk about why she's a wife, she starts naming credentials. I've got a degree, I'm this, I'm that. It makes sense that he thinks within those terms. It makes sense why a lot of black women can relate to him and support him. You do the same thing when it comes to, and I haven't seen other videos of this chick. She might be different, probably not, but she might be. Right? She might be different. But a lot of these chicks, I see 200 plus comments in here. Bet you a lot of these chicks, hella degrees up in this comment section. And if you ask them what separates you, you know how many degrees I have? That response is right on brand with Dr. Umar, the women who follow him, and don't drink coffee, so on and so forth.
I said it. Typical Philly ninja move. Be a deadbeat, get caught up on being a deadbeat, but then want to say, me and your mother could talk privately or publicly and we could talk. It was your mother's fault. I got all the paperwork. But if you are the most educated man, the most popular, the most requested man, and with all the education, you didn't know how to navigate getting rights over seeing your daughter? I want somebody to answer that. Like, the pause is for a reason. Like, you did not know how to navigate getting rights over seeing your daughter. No, you was just a deadbeat and didn't want the rights over seeing your daughter.
Okay, so I don't agree with that, right? I don't like how when I hear people address this issue or other issues like this, they act like it's some simple thing to go out and get custody to your children. Is it impossible? No, right? It's not impossible. And in fact, in the conversation I had with the attorney, Lauren the lawyer, she goes into detail about that. Again, you can access that by joining Boo Brothers at SheSaid.com. But it's not easy. It's not easy. We can agree that it's not an easy thing to do. We've seen plenty of high net worth individuals who could pay the best lawyers who've had a lot of difficulty being able to see their children. You got Jeezy, you got the Tyrese situation, so on and so forth. So this whole like, oh, you couldn't figure it out. No, we see the challenge. We see the challenge. So we can at least acknowledge it. It probably was challenging.
She was not lying, as Dr. Umar has come out and confirmed that that girl is indeed his daughter. He made this very questionable post to his Instagram. Y'all can pause to read. And then Dr. Umar calls Anissa a struggle streamer, saying that she's trying to use his career and fame to jumpstart her struggle streamer career. Like, ooh. And then he was talking even more trash on live.
I have events in Philadelphia all the time. I got family in Philadelphia everywhere. And you've been trying to find me? Stop the cap now. Can we please stop the cap, brothers and sisters? Trying to build your struggle streamer career off of my back? Coming up out of nowhere? Acting like you've been looking for me? Get Mama Smurf. When can the three of us have a sit down? I'm ready for this. When can Mama Smurf, Papa Smurf, and Baby Smurf have a sit down? Oh, I'm ready for this. And I will have my white man paperwork.
Anywho, Anissa was able to get in contact with her sister's mother and will be speaking to her sister fairly soon, which is amazing. She also said that she will not be posting the DNA test results because she doesn't have shit to prove to the internet. After putting public pressure on her father, Dr. Umar did finally respond to Anissa.
You had all this time.
Yeah, we already saw that. Let's move on. This is the last video.
Dr. Umar serves as a cautionary tale for both black men and women. You got to understand, there's a way that Dr. Umar could have escaped this, right? If he would have said something like, hey, you know, my long-lost daughter just came forward, and first and foremost, I'm going to say sorry for how everything turned out. You know, me and your mother had you when we were both younger. You know, well, things were a little tumultuous. She started using you as a weapon against me, and I didn't know how to necessarily navigate those waters. I thought paying child support, providing money would, like, at least tide us over until maybe me and your mother came into a cordial arrangement, but that never happened, and, you know, I wish it would have turned out different. He would have said something like that. He would have got 99% of the men back. And he would have got 50% of the women back, too. That's a 75% save rate. But what we actually got is, yo, mama. See, women need to understand this, man. See, you got to understand, a lot of women come across Dr. Umar, they going. He's like a tall dude.
In case my editor bleeped that out, he said, yo, mama at 304.
Very well spoken, very educated, very assertively spoken. He got a lot of status, but most importantly, he be talking that talk, right? He be black queen this, black queen that, black queens forever, snow bunnies never, right? And you got to understand, when a man is doing that, he will black queen you to death and then do a black queen dirty, even if that black queen is his own daughter.